What's going on, everybody? Dialerix TV back with another video, and in today's video we'll be discussing some controversial comments, yet a hard pill for the LeBron James fans and lover boys to digest. But Iman Shumpert, LeBron James' former teammate with the Cleveland Cavaliers, went on record and stated that LeBron James, the self-proclaimed king, ruined the game of basketball by forming a super team. So let's read what Iman Shumpert had to say. So this article is by Essentially Sports. The headline reads, former NBA champion Iman Shumpert on LeBron James moving to Miami Heat. Bron ruined basketball. He thought he was making it better. But Iman Shumpert said, quote, LeBron James, Bron ruined basketball. He thought he was making it better. I get him. Me personally, I love the NBA for the loyalty that I thought was there. He basically knocked the fourth wall down like the organization. They BSing. We doing what we want. Great business move for sure. But when you think about it outside looking in, I got people tweeting me right now. They like literally talking about owners and trades. It's like, bro, y'all not supposed to be talking about none of this actually. Iman Shumpert was on a podcast, a hip hop podcast by the Bootleg Kev. It says that Iman Shumpert keeps the point of how it shifted the perspective for the fans instead of focusing on the game itself. So if you guys would like to read the full article, the link is in the description box. But I truly respect Iman Shumpert for his honesty, and I think it's very important that players like Iman Shumpert, especially people like him, because he knew and played alongside LeBron James. So even TV commentators like Shannon Sharp are now starting to be a lot more objective and unbiased when it comes to reporting on LeBron James, and that's very authentic because it's coming from a genuine place. So it makes it whereas fans can be like, Iman Shumpert is hating on LeBron, because according to LeBron James fans, everybody's hating on LeBron. Everybody's hating on him, okay? A lot of times fans can just allow their love and obsession for a person cloud and blind their judgment and just ignore visible mistakes and errors, then make excuses for that person, right? I do agree that LeBron James played a huge part, a huge role in helping spark that domino effect of players teaming up and joining forces. I would give LeBron James probably 98% of the blame, because he sparked that wave of athletes teaming up. And I know a lot of people like to point to that 07 Boston Celtics team with Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Rondo. However, LeBron James carried the torch of the league at that time. He was the face of the league. He was viewed as so-called, air quotes, the next Michael Jordan. That would have been like Michael Jordan going to team up with Magic Johnson and the Lakers after not being able to defeat that Detroit Pistons team with Isaiah Thomas. LeBron James was the media darling before he, became the villain in Miami. He carried the most influence at the time. As KD stated, LeBron James' decision made it easier for him to make his decision to join the Golden State Warriors. It's highly possible that Kevin Durant never even would have went to the Golden State Warriors, because he would have been afraid of the backlash that he would have received and the criticism that he would have received had LeBron James not did it before, when LeBron James went to Miami. And oftentimes, fans say KD and LeBron moves were different. They're not the same. The moves were not the same. No, they weren't the same. They weren't the exact same, but they were very similar. They say that LeBron James went to D-Wade to learn how to win. He wanted to learn how to become a leader. But so why is it that when it came to KD, why he just couldn't go to Steph to learn how to win and play team basketball? Because he wasn't really playing team basketball when he was playing with Russell Westbrook. He didn't know how to win. As you guys could see, Kevin Durant was the right one, when it was pertaining to the Russell Westbrook situation. Now, honestly, I can make the argument that LeBron James' decision was worse, because he had the better team at the time. He had a better team than Dwayne Wade at the time. You were the one reaching the Eastern Conference Finals every year, not D-Wade. If you make the players around you better and make them good enough to help you win a title. You lost to the Orlando Magic when they had no prior NBA Finals experience. They've never been to that big stage before. And you, LeBron James, you went to the finals back in 07. So you knew what it took to get there. You had much more talent on that 09 team and that 2010 team than you had on that 2007 team, when you appeared in the finals versus the San Antonio Spurs and lost. And also with time, you become better because you learn from your mistakes. You grow. So in 09, you should have defeated that Magic team to advance to the finals to face that Lakers team. So you decided to jump ship and depart a team that, you had the top record in the conference. And Kobe Bryant defeated that same team that you lost to. So people follow the leader. Just like this new generation of rappers sound just like Lil Wayne. They want to be like Lil Wayne because they was inspired by Lil Wayne. Same thing that's happening in boxing with Floyd Mayweather. They idolize these athletes and they say, hey, I want to do that next. So if LeBron James would have took a different approach and maybe took on that challenge and figured out how to defeat that Celtics team without going to the Miami Heat and forming a super team with D-Wade and Chris Chris Bosh, I think the league would have been a lot more balanced, much more competitive, and it would have been in a much better place. And actually, I think it would have helped LeBron James' case more in the GOAT discussion. No matter how fans try to change the narrative, that was Dwayne Wade's team. And it's always going to be Dwayne Wade's team. You know, he has the key to Miami. But it makes LeBron James, it made him like a quitter because every time he faces an obstacle, it's like he runs. Just like what's happening now with the Los Angeles Lakers. We're losing now. And LeBron James, who hides his hands and speak through the media, speak through his puppets, his media puppets. You know, he started to make the environment toxic, as you know, as Kevin Durant said. You know, the media started to request that players get traded, and it spills over to the fans, and they start repeating it. And it goes back to what Iman Shumpert was just saying about how it was more so about the love for the game. And however, the flip side to that is me myself happen to love super teams. I think that it makes the league more entertaining. You know, I'm a fan of the villain. I'm a huge fan of super teams, but I would rather LeBron James take ownership, take ownership for his actions, own up to it, embrace being a villain, and accept what you did instead of pretending as if you didn't do it. Like he's done interviews, multiple interviews, saying that he never played on a super team. And the reason he's diminishing that so it can make him look better and his accomplishments as if, oh, it was just me by myself at the top who won his championship. I didn't have no help really. But the Cavs with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love was a super team despite what his fanboys say. Kevin Love was one of the top power forwards at the time. Same with Chris Bosh before he teamed up with LeBron. Even Antoine Jameson was one of the top 10 power forwards according to Bleacher Report at the time when he joined, the Cleveland Cavaliers in I think 2010. Their numbers prove that they were the top players. Chris Bosh numbers proved it. Antoine Jameson numbers proved it. Kevin Love numbers proved it. And there's this notion that LeBron had no talent and that he didn't have any help when he lost. But when he wins, they give him all the praise. But when they lose, he had no help. But back to Iman Shumpert's comments, society is really shifting into this fake world, and people aren't being real with themselves. They're trying to, have this fake image for social media. And some people are just holding on to a point in time where people were much more honest and open and real. But now people just want to be these fictional characters. And, loyalty is starting to become a rarity in this society. Kobe was loyal to one franchise, 20 years with one franchise, through all the ups and downs. What he means is when he says the fans shouldn't care about the organization and what they do about the trades and things like that. What he's saying is, like I said, there was a point in time in life where you'll be at like a barbershop or you're in school and you're around your friends and y'all had these basketball debates, and it was always about who was the best on the court, who was the top five greatest players of all time. Now it's more so who's being traded, player movements, etc. And I agree to a certain extent, but I can't fully agree because this also helps me pay the bills by discussing player movements and trades and things like that. So I have to disagree on that part. But even still, I'll admit that I'm losing respect and love for the game. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all get in that comment box, like, share, subscribe.